Peace and blessings, family. It is yours truly, Amari. I am the founder of El Caroline Unity Alliance, where we focus on your spiritual, your physical, and your financial well-being. My queen, Amari, is the co-founder. Family, I pray that you have had a blessed weekend. Pray that everything is going well with you and your family, in spite of the chaos that's going on in the world today. Today I want to talk about, what frequency are you on? What are you magnetizing into your life? A lot of people, they like to avoid these subject matters when it challenges them in the arena of their character. And I'm big on that, because it's about what you say and you do. Many people say it's not about what you say. But I disagree with that, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Okay, so what you say does matter. How you say it does matter. Okay, it's very critical, that we focus on our mindset. And see, let's reverse that. Set your mind. So whatsoever it is that you set your mind on is the direction that your life will go in. So if you set your mind on negative things, then that is what is going to exude from you. So what's going on internally is what's going to manifest externally. So I myself, personally, I subscribe to a spiritual system called Ifa. Okay, I'm a beginner, and there's a lot of wonderful moral principles that I learned from Ifa. This is my prayer book that I utilize on a daily basis. Every single solitary day I use. I hear Olofi's song. And so as I present the message to you on today, I'm going to present to you fragments from portions of the prayers that I pray on a daily basis. And this is one of the reasons why. Not just me reading literature, okay, but it's also me putting in the work, doing mental exercises, training my mind, denying myself, okay, from entertaining negative thoughts and acting out on those negative thoughts. Am I always successful? No. Some would like to present that fallacy to you. Okay, but I'm not one of these people who present to you that I'm perfect, meaning without error, without any type of faults in my life, because, I myself personally, I have to continuously work on my temperance because of me being a former drug dealer and gangster. Okay, so when it comes to that life right there, you have no reserve. Okay, when you get angry to a certain point, you become very violent. Okay, and that's something that I had to work on, is me not handling business violently. Okay, I had to learn not to swing on someone. I had to learn how to refrain from, attacking someone verbally, angrily, screaming at them. Okay, saying belittling things, demeaning things. And so that's something that we need to certainly focus on as a people. A lot of us, we are mentally damaged. Okay, a lot of us have suffered mental trauma, not necessarily from what we went through in slavery, okay, because some people have been traumatized mentally, okay, before they even left their home. As an adolescent, even some unfortunately still experience domestic violence. Okay, people have been verbally abused, physically abused. Okay, and this is just a reality. Okay, I like to focus on things that we can do to heal us. Okay, I'm about bringing messages that heal the internal man. Okay, because I see what's going on with us as a people. Okay, and building our lives upon moral principles will eradicate immorality. Okay, what we see is in this world, whether it's in the political arena, on a global scale, a lot of the stuff that we're seeing stems from a corrupt heart. Okay. Even when you're dealing with criminal activity, okay, you're dealing with racism, okay, you're dealing with child molestation, you're dealing with sex trafficking, okay, you're dealing with drug dealing, okay, when you're dealing with cigarettes still being sold, although cigarettes kill more people than illegal drugs any day, okay, causing cancer, okay, the genetically modified food, okay, is killing people more than illegal drugs, okay. So when you start dealing with these things, you have to face the realization that what's actually going on is morals, okay. Even though being one who owns a franchise with such a large branding like McDonald's and Burger King, I want you to think about this for a moment. Now, a lot of us, we celebrate this because it's illegal. But the thing is, though, is it healthy? It may be legal, but is it healthy? And also think about, can you show the nutritional value of that food, right? What benefits does one get out of eating McDonald's? Who can prove that there is nutritional benefits? I'm not talking about you just getting a full stomach. That's not a benefit. What is your body benefiting by taking in that food, by consuming it, right? Is it going to make your health better, or are you going to be unhealthy if you continuously consume that food on a daily basis? Now, I want you to think about this for a moment. We celebrate. We celebrate. When somebody buys a Checkers, buys a McDonald's, buys a Burger King, okay, we celebrate. Right? But the truth of the matter is, it's simply a legal distribution of toxins that is still killing people. Right? So we think about the moralistic piece about that. And so that's the reason why I don't buy stock in fast food franchises, because although it's a lucrative business and although you can make a lot of money off of stocks by having shares of those stocks, it still kills people, right? Okay, although selling cigarettes is legal, right? In a store, say for instance, you own a store, plenty of people, they end up buying, grocery stores and corner stores. But think about this. I want you to really think about this for one moment. Why are we still then, those who say that we're moral, why do we still then allow those things, those products? Because you have a choice about what you sell out of your store. So you have a choice to sell those toxic products that kill people or not. Okay, and I'm saying it's because many years ago, I knew a woman who went to the same temple as me, and she's a preacher. And when I went into the store, I seen the same preacher who called these things sinful. I seen the same preacher selling, okay, doing an over-the-counter transaction, selling cigarettes to somebody. See, the love of money. It's the root of all types of evil. Okay, there is some people in the porn industry that are married. Okay, there are some people that are married to gangster rappers. Right? Okay, so there are some women who date drug dealers. Right? So what is it then that will drive a man or a woman to involve themselves with people of such character? It is because of the frequency that they are vibrating on. Okay, it's what they're tuning in into their life. Okay, if you turn on a radio station, there's one for hip hop, there's one for classical music, there's one for reggae, there's one for country, and etc. Right? So whatever frequency you tune in on, everybody who tune in on their frequency, all of you going to be listening to the same exact thing. Everybody's going to be listening to hip hop, reggae, rap, jazz, whatever, if you're on that particular frequency. But all of you are listening to the same thing. All of you are vibing to the same thing, right? So the question is, what frequency are you on? If you constantly have chaos and drama in your life, okay, what frequency are you on? Okay, I don't go to clubs where they're fighting and shooting, and I don't, my queen and I, we don't expose ourselves to that type of atmosphere. We don't put ourselves in that position because of the frequency, the mindset that we are on. Okay? And so this is what I want to present to people today. The reason why a lot of times there is drama in our life is because of what we actually expose ourselves to. We open up that portal, okay, for that type of drama to come into our life. Okay, and you have a beginner's level, you have an intermediate level, you have an advanced level of being a spiritual person, if you will. Okay, and you know what level somebody is on by what they listen to, by what they watch, by what they read, by the people they hang around, the places that they go, okay, the way they conduct themselves. Okay, you can tell what frequency level somebody is on. Okay? And the result of what we see outwardly is a manifestation of what's going on internally with somebody's heart. Okay? And so we're going to deal with that today. You know, one of the prayers I prayed, it entails this. Alofi, bring coolness over our heads, our minds, our bodies, and this domain in which we stand. May the coolness and clarity of water bring us into alignment with our purpose. Okay? Now, another portion says, may I not judge, criticize, but honor you by realizing there are various perspectives. I pray you always allow me to be open-minded, open-hearted, light-hearted, immersed in the light of joy and happiness. Okay? Now, there's a prayer that I pray in regards to, because what you see is a lot of ego, man. You see a lot of going back and forth, and when you look at the gangster rap, you know, genre, okay, you see a lot of these brothers being involved in a lot of arguments and fussing and fighting and pulling out of guns and, you know, all this drama, all this negativity going on because of the portal that they're opening, because of the frequency that they're vibrating on. They're tuning these things in, okay, because they entertain these things. They entertain the foolishness. Okay? And notice that people who don't listen to those type of things, okay, don't live that type of life. They don't live a dramatic life because they're not allowing drama into their life. Right? See, our community, we have a big problem with drama. And it's because we succumb to the drama. Okay, we constantly expose ourselves to the drama. Then we be looking around in our communities trying to figure out, well, what's going on and why we still going through this. And listen, I can't expect a blind person to see. So this is the reason why I teach the way I teach, is to bring things to the light about the reasoning why we are in the state that we're in mentally. Okay. A big part of it, yes, is slavery. However, it has a lot to do with us being cut off from us teaching the moral principles that will bring a solid, okay, foundation to family and will bring a wholesome family atmosphere. This is something I know. There's no way possible that the mother and the father can be moral and they raise an immoral child. There's no way that a moral man and a moral woman come together with good character and won't birth a good child and won't send forth a good child into society, whereby that child can be a good byproduct of the proper upbringing of parents who are spiritually grounded in their life. Okay, and what we're seeing is the lack thereof of morality. Okay, we're seeing the lack of cultural pride. Okay, and what we're seeing is the manifestation also of those of us who embrace, okay, this chaotic spirit, this energy force, this negative energy force that's on this music that is in the background of the hip hop artists. And if you don't know, music has a frequency. Okay, it has a certain vibration. It's a scientific fact. Look it up. So many hertz gets your mood into a certain way. This is the reason why. Okay, when you're dealing with the religious or when you're dealing with non-religious music, right? When you're dealing with religious music, when it's praise time, they play praise music, right? When it's worship time, they play worship music. Okay, non-religious, when it's love-making time, you turn on love-making music. Why? Because it brings in a certain what? Frequency. Who listens to gangster rap when they make love? Okay? I don't know anybody saying, okay, let me turn on, you know what I'm saying, this killer song, this gangbanging song, so we can get in the mood so we can make love. You understand? I don't know nobody who does that. Okay, so to prove, this is just to prove to you that music does have a specific frequency on it. Okay, when you hear, I call it the blues, they call it a love song, but you know, I call it the blues when somebody's sitting there talking about how a man broke their heart. Then what happens to the person? The woman that's listening to it, all these memories start coming back to her head and she gets sad and they start crying and everything else like that. Why? Because of the frequency. The frequency of it. It's a vibration to it, right? So basically, whatever you expose yourself to is what is going to influence your mood and how you conduct yourself. Okay? All right, so now, one of the prayers is with Baba Shango is I surrender to fear, the negative behavior patterns perpetuated by my ego. Okay? And a lot of us are very egotistical. You know what I'm saying? We spend a lot of time trying to prove something to somebody, or we spend a lot of time trying to impress people, you know, with what we have. Okay? And that's nothing simply more than just our ego. You know, I've heard people on platforms, they go back and forth, start arguing. Oh, I have more subscribers than this person. Oh man, nobody wants to listen to you. And you know, the reason why you don't have all these followers is because, you know, this reason and that reason. And they get into this big old back and forth. You know why? Because they're on the wrong frequency. They're on the wrong frequency. See, drama begots drama. Okay? Drama begots drama. And there's people who have a form of being upright. You will hear them talk about Mayat. Okay, but you can't see where they really are a practitioner of the spirituality that they subscribe to. You hear some say they follow after Ifa. You hear some say that they're Christian and they're Muslim. Okay, but does their lifestyle portray being one of an upright person? Okay, so now we're talking about working on ourselves, building a solid foundation in ourselves whereby good character will exude from us, okay, and that love will germinate, all right, in every area that we go, people will only see the light. Okay, they will only feel love. They will only feel hope from you. Okay? And the reason why some people don't like to be around some of us is because of what frequency they're on. Listen, when you take two magnets, it's because of the magnetic force, okay? The spiritual magnetic force, you know what I'm saying? The energy that's within, the positive energy within you, right? You know, now in this particular case, the positive energy and the negative energy, it doesn't come together. When you flip two magnets, right? Because you have the positive, you have the negative. The forces won't allow it to happen. There's tension. There's no gelling. It doesn't have you can't interconnect with a person like that because you're on a positive frequency and they're on a negative frequency, and you can't come together because of the vibration, right? But then there's the positive and negative in your life, whereby it's there to empower you like a battery. Positive and negative charge. Okay, positive and negative wiring. Okay, that comes into your life. And all things work together for your good, right? Work together. Okay, so you got the positive things that happen in your life. You got the negative things that happen in your life. And those things occur to build character in you. The things that we call negative, right? Really, it's character builder. Because if you never went through anything, then when it was time for you to go through a thing, you would not be mentally stable enough to be able to handle what you're going through because you never went through anything. Check it out. It's just like a parent, right? If a parent always gave a child what they wanted, then when they didn't get what they want, they wouldn't know how to handle it. So the child will react in an immature way, okay, because they're always used to getting what they want. Now, say this child now becomes an adult child, because truly we never stop being the child, because we're going to always be our parents' child. We just are an adult child now. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, now this child becomes, this child, it has become an adult now. Now this adult doesn't know how to function in life because his or her parent or parents have isolated them from reality. So then when they get out of reality, they have to work for something. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle that situation. Why? Because they've been given everything. It's like if they had a maid that always made up their bed, okay, that always washed their clothes, that always cooked and cleaned for them, okay, they would be a dependent person instead of independent because they were programmed, okay, to be dependent. All right. This is the reason why things occur in our lives. A lot of times these things happen to build character in us, to build mental strength in us, to empower us so that we're able to handle tragic things in our life. This is the reason why, okay, in this household, that we're not going frantic around here. Because we have peace within mentally. Okay, we've been programmed, we've been trained to understand in this life you shall have tribulations. But we learn how to be of good cheer in the midst of trauma. Because whatsoever is going on outwardly doesn't affect me internally because of my mental strength. I'm strong enough to take it. Okay? So you see a person's reaction, okay, or you see someone's action, but it stems from what's going on inside of them, where they're at mentally. Okay, this is the reason why a player plays games, because inside, and they call it, the game, right? You know what I'm saying? The player play games, right? So you got the brother who called the player, and then the player play games. Why? Because, he hasn't grown up yet. So some people, they don't want to grow up because if they did, they couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. All right. Okay, so you see immature activity because the mind has not yet developed. And some people think that because somebody is of age that they're supposed to conduct themselves in that fashion. But some people conduct themselves like their shoe size, okay, because their mindset is immature. Okay, so we see all this immature activity going on in our community, and all these things that we see is occurring because of where we at mentally. Okay? If somebody was mentally stable, do you think they want to fight you because you stepped on their shoe? If people were in a stable moral state, do you think that we'll be robbing each other and shooting each other and killing each other and selling one another drugs? In fact, let's make this across the board thing outside in the ethnic group thing. Do you really think that racism would exist? I want you to think about this for one moment. Okay? Would racism exist if people were living by moral principles? If they've been taught solid moral principles, do you think that they will be doing the things that they're doing? It's because they're programmed. Okay, they've been taught to be that way. Okay, not to insult your intelligence. You know, one is not born a racist. They're taught into that mindset. Okay, why is it that a lot of us, we can't see beyond what's in front of us? It's because a lot of us haven't been programmed to look beyond what's in front of us. We've been programmed to accept that which has been placed in front of us. So a lot of us accept poverty because we haven't been trained to be able to feel as if though we're able to rise above it. And then we always are taught, well, you're African, well, you're female, well, you're male. Yes, we face that opposition, but we have to be taught how to mentally fight. To not to subscribe to a restriction to our gender or our ethnicity. The reason why our community is so dysfunctional is because of the lack of teaching like this that's going to help to rectify and to correct the wrong mindset, because we have a mental breakdown. Okay? This is we see a mental breakdown globally of the African man and woman and of the African family. Because of us being cut off from teaching like this morals that challenges our character and builds good character in the man or the woman. Because then the man and the woman can birth then a morally sound-minded child or children. But see, we don't want this. What we want is housewives. Okay, that's what we want. We want the reality shows with us using a whole bunch of profanity and us going crazy on one another. Okay, we want gangster rap. Okay, and we want the lyrical content that if we act it out, we'll end up incarcerated for the rest of our life. We don't want to hear teaching like this. We don't want to hear the reason why men don't respect women in our community. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear gossip. We want to hear about what the mayor, the one who was running for the mayor down in Florida, Andrew Gillum. No, we want to hear his story. We want to hear what he did and how he cheated on his wife and how he's on drugs and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we've been programmed for those type of things to go viral. We haven't been programmed to share moral teachings like this that's actually going to build character in the community, that's going to bring family cohesion in the community, and it's going to liberate the minds of the African man and woman and children, okay, in the community. Okay? And the reason why is because it causes one, okay, like our Orisha, Iya Yamoja, okay, who challenges us to look at ourselves. Now check this out. I'm gonna give you a piece of this prayer, and then after this, I'm gonna be closing. It says, Iya Yemoya. Help me to transcend my subconscious thoughts that are full of illusions and wash it away with your healing waters so I feel refreshed. See, what had to be created in us is a clean heart and a clean mind. A lot of us, we don't want to hear this because we've been programmed to think that acting a fool is supposed to be the way of life of the African people. We've been programmed to think that every other word need to be profanity. We've been programmed to think that we need to walk around with our pants sagging and a mouthful of gold. And we've been programmed to think that our women should walk around halfway naked. Okay, and then some try to use African DNA to support the reason why a woman really does that, when really, in all actuality, that woman has a promiscuous spirit. Okay, and that brother is mentally damaged with his underwear showing, sagging from his pants. Okay, but where did they learn this from? Oh, we don't want to go there, do we? Where did they learn that from? Who taught them that? Now remember, now you can't reflect what you never seen. You can't repeat what you never heard. So why do they call women whores and female dogs? Huh? Why do they dress that way? Hip hop culture influences culture more than any other culture in this world as it relates to the African people. Okay, you even have our African brothers and sisters in the diaspora that start acting like the fools in gangster rap. Okay? So we get this imagery, but the problem is, in our community, we love money so much to where we don't even care if our child has taken corruption from the street and put it on an album and causing it to germinate on a global scale and tainting the mind of the Africans, which pushes us even the more in a state of a mental breakdown and causing even the more chaos to arise in our community. We don't want to deal with that. And so these type of programs, because see, we have to be programmed. So we have to be reprogrammed. And this is the reason why this program exists, because I want to challenge every parent that's out there who has a child that goes to a public school where they don't see their faces in their own history books. Okay. And they have racist historical figures in their history books that's being championed to our children like there's someone who we need to look up to. So what our challenge is all parents who have children that go to a public school, for all of our parents, okay, to stand up and to fight against the curriculum in the school and see whether or not a change happens. So you know the reason why nothing changes? It's because how can something change when there's no challenge? Huh? You see? But see, there's too many people today, they focus on to love it and to like it. That's all they care about. They don't care about your soul. They don't care about what mental state you're in. They just care about the ratings on the TV, the ratings on that radio program, and on social media, how many subscribers they get, how many people following them, how many likes they get, how many lovers they get. That's all they focus on. Huh? They're afraid to make the rappers mad. They're afraid to make the R&B artists mad. They're afraid to make the politicians upset. They're afraid to make the religious, dogmatic, okay, imposing people upset. They're afraid to make these so-called activists upset that go in the name of our ancestors lyingly co-signing ancestors backing on their foolishness that they do. when they talk crazy, like going to kill innocent people to try to prove a point. When the only thing you have to do is say, and I'm not saying that they're going to change because you say this, okay, Caucasian man and woman, how would you feel if we did this to you? Now, am I saying that's going to change anything? No. But what I'm saying is it's morally sound. What is your wife going to do? What is your fiance going to do? What is your girlfriend going to do? Okay, what is your family going to do if you go out there and do such a foolish thing? Now, what are they going to do? Now the woman is husbandless. The children are fatherless. See, we got to be careful with this foolishness that we listen to. And the African man and woman has been programmed, their consciousness is so weakened that we're shaken by just about any doggone thing that we hear. We co-sign on it. And we've been programmed to reject anything that's positive that's going to help our people to elevate in our minds first. See, that's why I focus on the mind. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you don't have the right mindset, you're still going to be broke. This is what we keep saying, oh, money. No, that is a part of it. Yes, that is a part of it. But first, we must have the right mindset. What good is it for two people to come together and both of them broken? That means that's going to equal to a broken family. So we got to be more specific about what we're talking about. We just don't need a man and a woman in the household. No, we need two good parents that are morally sound, okay, that are mentally mature, that understands how the spiritual realm works and how the natural realm works. They can raise their children to be spiritual, empowered, and economically empowered. And spiritually empowered entails good morals and principles. And will teach them good family values and how to be a good neighbor in their communities. Okay? And if we taught family orientation, if we taught that our brother and sister next door is our family and that we need to love each other and work together, okay, if we had more of that mindset, then we would not see so much chaos in our community. Had we been taught more so to bring back our skill set and to help to build up the community and to pour back into our families, okay, and to be a faithful man, okay, to our women and to tend to them like we should as men, then we would not be in the state that we are in. But you know why we're in the state we're in? Because the African man and woman, the African people have been programmed to hate what's right. And that is the reason why everything is going wrong with us, because we've been taught to hate what's right. So how can you correct wrong, okay, when you don't want to adhere to what's right to correct the wrong? See, family, I'm just here to teach you the right way. You can be taught wrong. Yes, you can. I hear a lot of these brothers and sisters. I'm telling you the truth. A lot of them, they still sound like a thug back out on the street. I'm serious. They talk about Mayat. They talk about their ancestors and how they taught. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not moved by that. I'm not. Where is your life at? Where is your moral character at? I hear these same people talking about our women on Facebook Lives and talking about them like trash and calling them all type of names. These same people who went over to Africa. That's why I'm not moved by somebody talking about my yard. And no, have you submitted to the teaching? So many people, oh, let us go back to our African roots. But they don't want to deal with teaching like this, spiritual teaching that come from our African roots. They want to deal with moral character. You know what it says? It says, wash my head clear so I may create the conditions in my life to support the depth of creativity that you have birthed in me. This is the prayer to Iya Yemoja. Let me be a creative vehicle, moving, shifting, transforming, and living a life full of love and harmony. Beloved, that always want to talk about being in touch with your African ethnicity. What about teaching like that? What about teaching like that that talks about transforming and living a life full of love and harmony? The reason why we are at odds with one another, because we're not living by teaching like this. See, we say we want the answers, but when we get the answer, it's not what we really want to hear, which means to turn so we can live, to turn from our immoral ways. Okay? To turn from our immoral ways. We do more time teaching chaotic stuff and calling it the inspiration from the spirit of the ancestors. I hear so much foolishness. I'm like, this is absolute absurdity. That is not a teaching from Ifa. That is not a teaching from Voodoo. It is not. No spiritual African system I know teaches us to go around here and to talk crazy like that. To use a whole bunch of profanity, okay? Listen, people get fooled by the body of information, but where is the transformation, family? Huh? Okay, what good is it to quote a Bible verse, a Quran verse, verses from the old dudes, talk about the meta and all these things? Where is the transformation of your life? Where is that at? Where's the upright character that our ancestors that live by these moral principles, and still live by these moral principles today over in Yoruba, over in Nigeria? Okay, the Yoruba people over in Nigeria, throughout the diaspora, West Africa, the teaching is the same. It doesn't change. Uwa Pele, good character. Okay, where is the good character at? See, you understand, listen, man, we cherry pick about being African. We cherry pick. And I have to challenge us on this. We pick over being spiritually grounded and morally grounded, and we're always trying to justify our actions. Well, I wouldn't act this way if they wouldn't do this or that. Listen, family, when somebody attack you, you attack. But I think some people have a bad case of psychosis, thinking that everybody's always after them all the time. Okay, that's schizophrenia. You think somebody's after you all the time. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they are schizophrenic with this racism thing about every Caucasian person that's alive is supposed to be after them, and they just have it out for you. Okay, that is a psychological problem. That is a psychological problem. Because you have people like Jan Elliott who's going around teaching against these things. Racism. You have people like Father Flagler, he's Caucasian. Okay? And he doesn't support racism by any shape, form, or fashion. In fact, he supports the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And in fact, when they kicked him off of Facebook, okay, he allowed him to come to the temple that he oversees so he can speak from there. He provided the platform for him to come and to continue the message. And then not only that, he even had friends that are Ashkenazi Jews. But we've been brainwashed, we've been taught these things, and it has nothing to do with being African. It has nothing to do with being spiritual. It has nothing to do with being spiritually grounded. It does not help you to evolve. It doesn't bring healing to the community. It doesn't bring salvation to the mind of the African whatsoever. If it's not bringing salvation to the mind of the African, okay, if it's not bringing an awareness to our consciousness, helping us to see the flaws in our life, if it does not help a person to evolve, okay, if it doesn't make their life better, if it will not make them a better man or woman, then it is worthless. It is garbage. It should not be incorporated in the teaching of the African. If it doesn't affect us spiritually, physically, and financially, it is worthless. And we spend so much time on dramatic things, and people get on here and use these platforms to waste so much time and energy, okay, germinating hate, germinating chaos instead of love. We got to cut this thing off at the root. And we have to get back to loving. We have to get back to teaching like this. Okay? And this is it right here. I thank you all for tuning in. And hopefully I did challenge you, because you need to ask yourself, what level are you on? Okay, because wherever you open up the portal to, that's the type of man that you're going to gravitate to your life. The reason why I have a good wife, because I have a good spirit. Okay, I'm on a totally different level. Okay, I don't have a horse wife. Okay, because that's not the level that I'm on spiritually. I don't have a wife who look like she's going on a strip pole and then trying to justify with African culture. Because of where I'm at spiritually. See, people, listen, fam, it's just like a Bible verse that says they take the word and handle it deceitfully. Some people mishandle our African culture. You got to understand, most women that dress that way over in Africa, guess what? They are not involved in African modern day civilization. Like some of the Himba women that they show, they still got the red clay in their hair. Okay, and they still put the red clay on themselves. Guess what? They still living in antiquity. See, I gotta shut these lies off, man. I gotta cut off these false teachings. Okay, they remind me so much of these fake false preachers and pastors, okay, who take the Bible and mishandle it and try to get people to give them all their bill money. Trying to cloak their promiscuous ways, their lustful ways with African teaching. I gotta shut that mess down. Oh, the sexual energy is arising, and man, please. This is not antiquity. We're not in antiquity no more. We're in modern day times. So stop playing. Okay? This is called modern day African attire, okay? Now, I'm Asante. My bloodline is Asante, okay? Which is the Akan people over in West Africa. Technically, traditionally, the cloth that I would be wearing from antiquity would be kente cloth. It'll be wrapped around me. I wouldn't have no collar on like this. I wouldn't have no sleeves on my clothes. This is modern day African attire. But in antiquity, I would have the kente cloth wrapped around me. Right? That's what I would do. But guess what? This is now. That was then. But these clothes still have a what? African signature. You can still look at me, that brother African. So there is modern day female attire that a woman can wear where she don't look like she going on a strip pole. Okay, I had about enough of this mess. You know what I'm saying? I had about enough of the foolishness, man. Okay, any EI that is spiritually grounded will teach a sister that. See these people, they just be talking. They talk about African culture, but they truly don't have a full concept of it. Because they still westernized in their mind. There's still some Western mentalities that they have from colonization that's still influencing them. And they warring with African culture and tradition. Then they wrestle with this modern day African in America type of mindset. This old Western African in America mindset. That's not listen, listen, man, let me help you understand. We connected with real EIs. Okay? Look on my Facebook page, go to my cover photo, and you see us standing there with the EI of the Onyatuji village, which is my wife's cousin. Okay, we come to find out that's my wife's cousin. Okay, on her mother's side. Okay? Look at the way that EI dressed. Every EI I know personally dresses modestly. None of them look like they're going on a strip pole. So you could not possibly have been trained accurately by a mature-minded African woman. There is no way. Because no African woman that is mature in her mind in today will ever encourage the sisters to continue to dress like that. There's no way. Because you got to understand the tradition of the EI, the mothers in our community. See, you got to go back to source. Not these westernized, bootleg, Babaluwis and EIs that be teaching all this foolishness. They have to be called out and they have to be shut down. And all these fake so-called following after comedic science people out here too that still act as if though they have no home training. And some of them really don't have proper home training. I'm talking about from, their head, okay, and their feet, having the right, okay, mother and father teacher, okay, having the right person in their life to mold them and to shape them and to raise them up spiritually. And the reason why they think it's okay, because they don't have nobody to correct them. Because those same so-called elders, okay, that are of age, and because they quote Meta Netter, and because they quote Ifa, okay, and because they haven't been corrected by, somebody in their right mind, it continues to germinate and continues to have a form of uprightness. But when you watch their life, the way they live, you can't even tell. The only thing they're doing is they just repeating a whole bunch of information where there's no transformation. When is it going to take root in the heart? When is it going to take root in the heart? One of the prayers to EI Oshun is this. EI Oshun, and this is in closing. EI Oshun, Your sacred light is ever present in my life. I place my intent on love. And as I do that, automatically detach from its outcome. I place my intent on doing good in the world. And I am naturally drawn to what I am to contribute. I place my intent on being fully present for my loved ones. I place my intent on enjoying life and being full of happiness. I place my intent on free will. I place my intent on being lighthearted and full-hearted. I place my intent on living in truth and authentic ways. This is our prayer to Iyao Oshun. Peace and love, family. Thank you so much for tuning in again. And it's yours truly, Amari. I am the founder of El Kebalan Unity Alliance, where we focus on your spiritual, your physical, and your financial well-being. My queen, Amani Amari, is the co-founder. We thank all of you for tuning in. Okay, we have more powerful content like this on our YouTube channel. If you be so kind to go there. Okay, again, for us, okay, we like for people to go there, okay, because we have more information there. Okay, we have playlists with, health. Okay, we have playlists for economics. Okay, we have an educational playlist on there as well, where there's teachers on there like Astro Kwesi, for those who don't know who Astro Kwesi is, for those who don't know who Dr. Ben is, okay, but those who don't know who Dr. John Henry Clark is, we have teachers like that who's teaching us our history, okay, helping us to better understand who we are as a people, okay, and exposing us to our culture, okay, organically, okay. They have videos that they're over in Africa. In fact, Dr. Ben lived in Africa, okay. If I'm not mistaken, he lived in Kemet, okay, with some know as Egypt. Okay, and he did a lot of extensive videos and exposing us to the culture and exposing us to our great selves, okay, and giving it to us without European interference. Okay, and so Baba Asher Kwesi does the same thing. Dr. John Henry Clark, he does the same thing. Dr. Ben does the same thing. Okay, and I also have some teachers on there from E5. Okay, very minuscule. Okay, because like I said, I never share anything that I detect as being a bunch of foolishness. Okay, and when people don't know what they're talking about. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So we have stuff on the playlist there that be able to help you. Even my cousin, Yosef, he was the one who the ancestors sent to me to help to awaken my consciousness. Okay, when I was a bishop, okay, I rebuked the devil out of him. Hey, family, I rebuked the devil. Get thee behind me, Satan. You know what I'm saying? But I come to find out it wasn't this so-called energy force called Satan, that was leading my cousin. It was actually, the spirit of truth, the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of our ancestors, with my cousin Yusef. And he told me some truths that challenged the fallacies, and the falsehoods that I was taught. And he's on there as well. It's called The School of Thought. I highly encourage you to go to that playlist. So for those of you who are transitioning out of religion, or you're starting to question, what you're following after, listen, this channel is for you. I'm here to help you to be in this world and not of this world, for you to evolve into who you really are, okay, as a spiritual being. Okay, this is beyond being an African with me as well. Although there's cultural teaching, but the truth of the matter is we were spirit before we were flesh. Okay, and focusing on the spirit, man, is one of the most important things. Okay, being a person of moral character is one of the most important things. Knowing who you are, not just in the natural, but in the spiritual, is very critical for the direction that your life will go in. Okay? Peace, love, and power. Love you. Make sure that you go there. It's El Kebalan Unity Alliance. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, El Kebalan_Unity Alliance. Okay, I will provide the links in the header of this video. For those of you who will see this on YouTube, okay, those links will not be there. Okay, for those who do come on there and watch it, the replay, it won't be on there. But if you just go to El Kebalan_Unity_Alliance on IG, you'll find us there. Also, we provide these African men clothing for you. Okay, it is handcrafted. It is from an African owned and operated business over in Ghana. Okay, and we have a website for you for those who want to express themselves culturally and their pride in their culture outwardly. Okay, so also we have women accessories for our queens out there, straight from Kenya. Okay, so if you would like to purchase some of those items, please feel free, family, to go there. We are humbled and honored to be able to oblige your men's African clothing and your women's accessory needs. Okay, and it is entitled, our website, El Kebalan Life. Okay, El Kebalan Life. Okay, and that stands for El Kebalan is, you got more than one definition, but the land of the spirited people, the land of the upright people. Okay, from the interpretations that I know of from my personal Wale moves who studied the word and interpreted it for me. Okay, that's what I was taught. Okay, so you can go there. All right, so we love you. We appreciate you, family. You have a blessed one.